Take a long, hard look at Taylor Schabusiness. At first glance, she looks like a typical young woman, but behind those eyes lies a level of darkness that most of us can't even comprehend. I'm Darko, and today we're diving into a case so gruesome, so beyond the pale of human decency, that it sounds like a horror movie script. But this isn't a movie. This is the reality of what happened in Green Bay, Wisconsin. In February 2022, Taylor didn't just kill her boyfriend. Shad Thyrion, she dismantled him, treated his remains like trash, and then smiled about it in front of a jury. From attacking her own legal counsel to being restrained in a spit hood, Taylor Schabusiness is a name that has become synonymous with courtroom chaos and pure, unadulterated evil. We are going deep into the transcripts, the police body cams, and the latest incidents from inside her prison cell that you haven't seen yet. The nightmare began on a cold Tuesday night on Stony Brook Lane. Tara Pakanich, Shad Thyrion's mother, walked into her basement expecting to find her 25-year-old son. Instead, she found a sight that would traumatize any human being for life. Inside a black plastic bucket, she found Shad's severed head. The 911 call that followed is a descent into madness. The dispatcher, clearly in shock, repeatedly asked if it could be a prop or a fake head. But as the first responding officers entered that basement, they realized the horror was real. They found blood-soaked towels, a bread knife, and various body parts scattered in a crockpot box. Taylor was nowhere to be found, but the trail of blood led directly to her. When police finally located her at an apartment complex, she was covered in dried blood. Her response? She looked at the officers and asked if they found everything. She wasn't scared. She was curious if the police were competent enough to find all the pieces of her work. What happened in that basement is something the prosecution described as a prolonged act of sadism. According to the criminal complaint, Taylor and Shad had spent the day using methamphetamine and trazodone. During an intimate encounter, Taylor placed a metal chain around Shad's neck. She told detectives that she watched his face turn purple, watched him cough up blood, and simply kept pulling. She said she blacked out in the moment, but her actions afterwards showed a terrifying level of clarity. For the next several hours, Taylor used a serrated bread knife to dismember Shad's body. She told investigators that she enjoyed the process, stating, "Yeah, I liked it." She even admitted to performing sexual acts on Shad's body after he was already deceased. This is a level of necrophilia and mutilation that shocked even the most veteran homicide detectives. She told the police they were going to have fun trying to find all the organs, as she had hidden them in different containers around the house. As the trial approached, the big question wasn't if she did. She had already confessed, but whether she was mentally fit to stand trial. Taylor pleaded not guilty by reason of insanity. Her defense team argued that she suffered from bipolar disorder and postpartum psychosis. They brought in experts to testify that she was detached from reality. However, the court-appointed psychologist Dr. Matthew Seipel disagreed. He testified that while Taylor had issues, she was manipulative and fully understood the judicial process. This led to the first major explosion. In the courtroom in February 2023, her attorney, Quinn Jolly, was arguing for a delay to bring in more experts. Taylor, seemingly frustrated by the slow pace of the legal system, suddenly lunged. She tackled Jolly to the ground, swinging her fists in a blind rage. It took a swarm of bailiffs to pull her off. This attack wasn't a symptom of insanity. It was a tactical strike from a woman who wanted to control the room. The trial itself was a circus of disrespect. Taylor was caught on camera repeatedly smirking at Shad's family, chuckling during gruesome testimony, and even making a finger gun gesture at the judge and the prosecutor. The community in Green Bay was outraged. By the time of her sentencing, the court had to take extreme measures. Taylor was brought in, wearing a spit hood, a mesh mask, designed to prevent her from spitting on or biting the courtroom staff. It was a chilling image. A woman so volatile she had to be muzzled like an animal. Shad's uncle delivered a powerful statement, telling the court that Taylor's name, Schabusiness, was fitting because her life was sole business. Through it all, Taylor sat in her mask, silent and unmoving. The jury took less than an hour to find her guilty on all counts, rejecting her insanity plea entirely. Judge Thomas Walsh sentenced her to life in prison without the possibility of parole, stating that the public needed to be protected from her at all costs. If you thought prison would calm her down, you were wrong. Taylor was sent to Taycheedah Correctional Institution, but the violence followed her. In early 2024, a new criminal complaint was filed. Taylor allegedly faked a medical emergency, claiming she had fallen on a staple and was bleeding. When a prison sergeant and a nurse entered the medical room to help her, Taylor saw her opening. She lunged at the nurse, but the sergeant managed to intervene. Taylor then turned her fury on the sergeant, striking him in the head and neck and leaving him with bruised ribs. She had to be pepper sprayed just to be brought under control. And the cycle continued. In a recent hearing for this assault, she tried to attack her new defense attorney yet again. She is a woman who thrives on the moment of impact. Whether she's in a courtroom or a maximum security cell, Taylor Schabusiness remains a predator, always looking for the next person to strike. Taylor Schabusiness is currently serving her life sentence. but her case remains one of the most studied and discussed in true crime history. It raises the ultimate question: where does mental illness end and pure evil begin? She destroyed the life of Shad Thyrion and broke the hearts of a family in a way that can never be mended. So, I want to hear your thoughts. Is life in prison a harsh enough punishment for someone who admitted to enjoying such depravity? Or is the justice system failing by not having harsher options for crimes against human dignity? Let me know in the comments below. I'm Darko, and this has been a deep dive for the Justice Analyst. Hit that subscribe button, leave a like, and stay tuned as we continue to track the world's most dangerous cases. See you in the next one.